My daughter is dying, and you're worried about a parking violation. That's what I screamed at HOA President Rhonda Blackwood as she blocked my driveway, while my 8-year-old was turning blue from an asthma attack. It was 3:47 p.m. Paramedics pounding on her Lincoln Navigator, begging her to move. Skylar was choking on her own breath inside the house, and this woman stepped out, fixed her lipstick in the side mirror, and told the EMTs they needed proper authorization to park in her neighborhood. 9 agonizing minutes dragged on before I made one phone call. Rhonda's smug face turned to pure terror as my military backup arrived, right in front of news cameras and filming neighbors. She thought rules mattered more than a child's life. She was dead wrong, and she was about to learn why you never corner a desperate father with the right connections. What would you do if an entitled Karen blocked your child's ambulance? Drop your revenge fantasy below and tell me where you're watching from. My name is Dalton Reeves, and 6 months ago, I thought Willowbrook Estates outside Phoenix would be the perfect fresh start for me and my daughter Skylar after a messy divorce. Corner lot, workshop for my emergency consulting business. 12 years in Army logistics had taught me how to get the right gear to the right place when lives hung in the balance. Now I help small towns set up disaster protocols. The workshop smelled like diesel, fuel, and metal polish, sparks flying from grinding aluminum rescue brackets, classic rock cranked up, bitter coffee always on my lips during late-night checks. Heaven for a guy who fixes things for a living. Skylar has severe asthma, so when she stayed with me every other week, the place turned into Fort Knox of emergency prep. Inhalers everywhere, oxygen concentrator humming, direct ham radio line to paramedic dispatch. You learn fast when your kid can go from giggling to gasping in minutes. Then came Rhonda Blackwood, HOA president and professional pain in everyone's ass. White Lincoln Navigator with Blessed One vanity plates pulls into my driveway. Out steps a woman with salon-perfect highlights costing more than my mortgage, clutching a leather portfolio like she's serving legal papers. The overwhelming floral perfume hits from 10 feet away, the kind that screams, "I have opinions about your lawn." Married to the country club president, lives in the McMansion on Prestige Drive, and apparently sees my blue-collar workshop as a blight on civilization. "Mr. Reeves," she announces, heels crunching gravel, "we have a commercial activity violation." I teach emergency response to volunteer firefighters once a week. My work truck sleeps in my driveway because emergencies don't keep business hours. But Princess Rhonda says home businesses must be minimally impactful to neighborhood aesthetics. She slaps me with a $150 fine I can't afford on single dad income, waves some covenant about commercial vehicles, and suggests I'd be more comfortable in a different type of neighborhood. Translation: poor people belong elsewhere. I paid the fine. Custody battles get ugly when neighbors complain about your parenting environment. Told Skylar my standard bully advice. Some people like rules more than people, kiddo. Worst decision ever. Suddenly Rhonda's conducting daily surveillance at 4 p.m. Sharp, right when I pick Skylar up from school. She parks at the corner with binoculars, taking notes in that stupid portfolio. Sometimes she marches my property line with a measuring tape, checking equipment trailer setbacks like she's planning a military invasion. The daily crunch, crunch, crunch of her heels became our soundtrack of doom. Skylar would peek through kitchen curtains and whisper, "Mean lady's back, Daddy." What Rhonda didn't know, my commercial equipment included military-grade ham radios connected to emergency networks across 3 states. My client list: half the emergency response coordinators in Arizona, plus helicopter pilots like Jake Martinez from my old unit who ran medical evacuations in Afghanistan. When you've coordinated life-or-death airlifts under enemy fire, civilian disaster prep is basically a weekend hobby. Neighbors like Elena Vasquez, retired teacher with arthritis walking her ancient chihuahua every morning, and Marcus Thompson, electrician who works nights and just wants peace, offered sympathetic nods when Rhonda wasn't looking. Nobody wanted to poke the bear. Elena had been fined for non-conforming mailbox flowers. Marcus cited for parking his work van overnight. But I stayed quiet and documented everything. Army taught me: prepare for the worst, hope for the best, always have an exit strategy. Never imagined that exit strategy would involve airlifting my kid out of suburbia. The first real escalation hit on a Saturday morning while I was doing routine maintenance on my emergency generator. 9:30 a.m., well within legal noise hours. Angle grinder cleaning corrosion off backup battery terminals. Skylar inside, making pancakes, humming Disney tunes. Smell of batter mixing with metallic tang of battery acid. Weekend mornings don't get much better. Then the Lincoln pulls up like she's arriving at a crime scene. Rhonda storms out in a pink velour tracksuit, portfolio and cell phone in hand. Doesn't wait for me to shut off the grinder. "This is completely unacceptable," she shouts. "Multiple noise complaints about your excessive commercial activity." I kill the grinder, pull off safety glasses. It's 9:30 a.m. on Saturday, Rhonda. "City ordinance allows." I don't care about city ordinance. This is residential, not industrial. Waves of paper. Signed complaint from Garrett Mills about disruptive activities. Garrett, my friendly next-door neighbor who borrowed jumper cables 2 weeks ago and brought beer to say thanks. Signature looks off. Too neat. In Afghanistan, forged requisitions got people killed. You learn to spot inconsistencies fast. When did Garrett give you this? Yesterday evening. He's tired of the constant noise. Sharp smile. She thinks she's cornered me. I'll pay the fine, but I want to verify with Garrett directly. Not necessary. Matter settled. Slaps $300 citation on my workbench, double the first plus fees. After she leaves, trailing toxic perfume, I walk next door. Garrett's washing his car, classic rock blasting. "Hey man, thanks for the complaint about my generator." He stares like I spoke Martian. "What complaint?" Shows boarding pass screenshots. He was in Vegas. "Besides, your stuff doesn't bother anybody." Hell, I wish I knew half what you know about emergency prep. Then the look, embarrassment, anger. 2 weeks ago, Rhonda asked me to sign a neighborhood improvement petition. General language about property standards. I signed it being neighborly. Blood runs cold. She used that signature for something else. Forgery, felony level. Now we're talking my language. Spent Sunday night researching Arizona HOA law until my eyes burned, fueled by bitter coffee and growing anger. Violation hearings require 48-hour written notice. Homeowners can record proceedings. Most boards count on people not knowing rights. Document everything. No procedures. Fight back with facts. Monday, I call Garrett as witness, request formal hearing. Rhonda schedules its same afternoon. Only 4 hours notice. Another violation of her own rules. But her arrogance becomes my advantage. I'd installed security cameras around the workshop since the first citation. Perimeter security assessment. Old military habit of watching your six. Footage caught everything. Rhonda measuring setbacks at midnight. Photographing equipment serial numbers through windows. Testing gate latch. Writing notes when secure. That evening, reviewing footage while Skylar brings peanut butter sandwich, her cure for everything. "Daddy, why doesn't the mean lady like us?" Some people think following rules is more important than being nice, kiddo. But mean people usually trip over their own meanness eventually. Through the window, Elena walking peanut, Mark is coming home for night shift, good people keeping heads down. What they didn't know, Princess Rhonda just committed her first prosecutable crime. Forging signatures isn't harassment, it's fraud. And I had 12 years of military documentation training to build an airtight case. Game on, Rhonda. Tuesday morning, teaching Skylar how to check inhaler expiration dates. Our weekly emergency preparedness is fun routine. Doorbell at 8 a.m. Thinking mail carrier. Instead, Chad Brennan from City Code Enforcement, clipboard apologetic. Complaint regarding zoning violations, industrial equipment, hazardous materials, unlicensed business. From your HOA on official letterhead. Workshop doors open. Trauma supplies, comms gear, rescue brackets for rural fire contract. To untrained eyes, Tony Stark's midlife crisis. Chad, mid-40s, calloused hands, work boots, veteran decal on clipboard. Where do you serve? 3rd Infantry, Iraq. Logistique, Afghanistan. Deportment shifts as we enter. Smell of clean metal and organized tools. Every responder recognizes preparedness over panic. Jesus, this is nicer than half the paramedic stations I've inspected. pulls certifications, licenses, insurance. This complaint is complete bull. Legitimate business with proper permits. Most towns would pay for this setup. Studies HOA letterhead. Signature block shows 5 board members, but only 1 actual signature. Rest photocopied. Not how official complaints work. Explains Rhonda's one-woman reign. Forged complaints, surveillance, invasions. Chad notes. Documenting his interference with city inspection. Lady tried cornering me in driveway. Implied I wasn't doing my job. Been doing this 15 years. No harassment when I see it. Elena appears at gate. Nervous. That woman terrorizing neighborhood for months. Find me $200 for roses instead of approved shrubs. Threaten Marcus with liens. Taking pictures like building dossiers. Marcus pulls up. Timing perfect. Chad's notebook fills with complaints about Rhonda's police state. HOA covenants can't override city-approved business licenses, especially essential services, Chad says. Ladies wasting taxpayer money on frivolous complaints. Don't appreciate time weaponized for vendettas. After Chad leaves with spotless report and promise to flag future bogus complaints, Rhonda handed me a tactical gift, official record of harassment pattern. But she's not done escalating. That afternoon, emergency HOA board meeting to vote new workshop restrictions. Notice at 3 p.m. For 6 p.m. Barely 3 hours instead of 48. Panicking, sloppy mistakes. Filed complaint with Arizona Department of Real Estate while Skylar did homework at workshop desk. Daddy, are we going to have to move? Not a chance, kiddo. Sometimes only way to stop bully is hit back harder. Wednesday, Marcus pounds door at 6 a.m. Still in work clothes, smelling like electrical wire. You need to see this. Phone shows Rhonda hired private security, patrolling since midnight, interrogating people. Video. Guards questioning Elena about late dog walks. She terrified, clutching Peanut. Asked Marcus for ID in his own neighborhood. Investigating suspicious activities. No board vote, no budget. Rhonda hired. Said she'd present bill later. Public records. Pinnacle Protection Services owned by Richard Blackwood, Rhonda's brother-in-law. Paying family with HOA dues to terrorize us. Embezzlement, nepotism, abuse of authority. Morning research. Board members' fiduciary duty. No using funds for personal benefit. Violates multiple laws. Noon. Elena at door with manila envelope. Righteous anger replacing nerves. Dumpster diving found photocopied financials, bank statements, contracts. Payments to Pinnacle $47,000 over 18 months. Never seen guards until this week. Triple billing same phantom services via 3 Richard-owned companies. Forged signatures, fake insurance claims, invoices for non-existent repairs. Elena's find uncovered multi-year embezzlement. Enough paperwork to choke a prosecutor. Called attorney friend Rebecca Santos, specializing in HOA fraud. This isn't civil anymore, criminal embezzlement. Mandatory state investigation, felony charges, freezing accounts. Witness intimidation with guards. Felony. How fast? Criminal complaint to AG tomorrow. Once triggered, board loses liability protection. Hiring fake security to intimidate witnesses. Felony. Thursday, Elena at 6 a.m. Couldn't sleep. Did something brave or stupid. Canvas bag clinks. Reassembled shredded papers from dumpsters. Late husband accountant. She knows fraud. Forensic report from ex-treasurer David Kim. Resigned suddenly $127,000 embezzled over 3 years. Landscaping kickbacks, phantom contracts, insurance fraud. Resignation letter never reached board. Death threats, photos of teenage daughter. Rhonda's promise to destroy life/credit if quiet. Not resignation, terrorized out. Insurance docs, fake vandalism claims, brother-in-law repairs, pocketed payouts. Correspondence with Meridian Development. Buying Willowbrook for commercial development. Reduce values, clear problematic residents. Targets, veteran with workshop, me. Elderly with landscaping, Elena. Electrician with parking, Marcus. Coordinated real estate fraud. Preliminary agreement. Rhonda $75,000 consulting fee if Meridian acquires 80% properties in 18 months. Stealing homes to sell to developers. This isn't petty harassment. Organized crime with HOA fraud. Rebecca, federal case. Get documents to office. Calling FBI. Friday, workshop smells like industrial coffee. Determination, Elena's blueberry muffins. Elena, intelligence coordinator, kitchen table mission control. Marcus, technical security, cameras, encrypted apps, teaching Elena on flip phone. In my day, secure mint passing notes under desks, she mutters, grinning. Rebecca, FBI Financial Crimes Unit interested fast. HOA fraud epidemic in Arizona. Evidence package poster child for racketeering. Similar schemes. Developers plus corrupt boards devaluing neighborhoods for cheap buys. Established resistance network. Ham radio backbone. Rhonda's guards can't monitor encrypted frequencies. Elena's house document HQ. Marcus garage tech support. Tactical. Rhonda escalates when realizes case building. Already hired security. Cornered animals do stupid things. Sunday night, 2:17 a.m. Cameras catch Rhonda creeping electrical meter with wire cutters. All black, special ops style. Trying to cut power to workshop night before filing. Main power cuts. Emergency generator hums on. Cameras keep rolling. Radio contact maintained. Military redundancy beats suburban sabotage. 3 a.m. She realizes failure. Stand in driveway staring at lit windows like physics betrayed her. Called power company. Tampering triggers criminal report. Tech bill. Textbook sabotage. Police within hour. Another felony. Photographic evidence. Dawn. Elena. Rhonda Community Center. Setting up community safety forum banners protecting neighborhood values. Security directing traffic. Mandatory meeting about dangerous activities. Desperation thick. 10 a.m. She offers Elena $5,000 cash for cooperation. Recorded on Elena's phone. Attempted bribery of federal witness. Another felony. Afternoon. Marcus. PI photographing Skylar's school pickup. Rhonda crossed into threatening my daughter. Rebecca. Child surveillance. Emergency protective orders now. Triggers mandatory FBI response. Evening, Skylar bedtime routine. Inhalers, protocols. Is mean lady going to hurt us? No, Kido. When bad people get caught, it tries scaring good people. That's why we have plans. Monday morning, crisp desert air. Elena 6 a.m. She's lost her mind. Community center. Banners protecting Willowbrook from domestic terrorism. PowerPoint calling me radicalized veteran with military-grade weapons. Workshop terrorist facility. El Naelia Complice. Propaganda packets to mailboxes. Half neighborhood wants emergency training instead. 9 a.m. Rebecca. Federal charges filed. FBI en route. Rhonda's meeting 4 p.m. Max witnesses for her performance. No idea. By then she'll be in cuffs. Neighbor stream to workshop. Asking my side. Elena coordinates. Documenting. Noon. Rhonda files false police reports. Me threatening with weapons, surveilling children. Officers, Detective Ray Santos, Marine vet, recognize legal equipment. Filing false reports, criminal offense. 3:30 p.m. Black SUVs, federal agents. Agent Walsh knocks Rhonda's door, 3:47 p.m. Exact timestamp of Skylar's emergency. Honda opens. Confident smile dies seeing FBI credentials. Rhonda Blackwood, under arrest for mail fraud, wire fraud, conspiracy to commit real estate fraud, witness intimidation. Handcuffs click like music. Helicopter rotors. Jake's medical transport chopper circles. Lands in community center lot. Rotor wash scatters propaganda like confetti. Skylar's bus arrives. Kids pointing excitedly. Skylar runs. Daddy. Helicopter and police cars. Mean lady got caught, kiddo. News vans capture perp walk. Rhonda shouting conspiracy, illegal overreach. Neighbors watch from driveways. Community center impromptu, celebration. Parents ask for training. Kids selfie with chopper. Reporter, comment. When you bully people into giving up homes and rights, discover those people have friends in high places. Rhonda called my preparedness dangerous. Today, it helped coordinate federal investigation protecting neighborhood from organized crime. To other HOA boards, don't mess with people who document everything. Coordinate with authorities. Call air support when necessary. Agent Walsh, case textbook for training. Your documentation prosecution quality. Evening, Jake lifts off into sunset. News footage for broadcasts. Neighbors share stories, plan real improvements. 3 months later, Skylar's breathing better. Stress triggered half her episodes. Removing psychotic HOA president better than any inhaler. Rhonda pleaded guilty 14 federal charges. Embezzlement, fraud, intimidation, conspiracy. 18 months prison, $127,000 restitution to HOA, $43,000 to targeted homeowners. Judge, most systematic abuse in 20 years, HOA prosecutions. Insurance paid $89,000 damages. Meridian facing own investigation, multi-million scheme across Phoenix. Elena new HOA president. Unanimous after evidence heroics. Eliminated harassment policies. Designated workshop community emergency resource. Marcus Trésurier finance organisée. Recovered funds. Playgrounds. Lighting. Preparedness program. Other neighborhoods copy. My business tripled. Media coverage. Federal referrals. Booked helping communities fight corruption. Rebecca and I developing legal template for HOA fraud. Quarterly emergency festivals legendary. Jake flies in, teaches helicopter safety. Parents learn trauma response. Arizona passed Willowbrook Anti-Corruption Act. Enhanced HOA oversight, background checks. Elena testified. Bullies count on isolation. Communities coordinate, fight with documentation. Federal authorities stop crime at subdivision level. Scholarship fund from restitution sent kids to emergency services degrees. Property values up 23%. Removing organized crime excellent for real estate. Best, Skylar walks to bus without looking over shoulder. Invites friends over worry-free. When kids ask about helicopter arrest day, she says proudly, "My daddy protects people." Workshop, now neighborhood hangout. Kids learn preparedness. Adults share coffee while Elena tells federal glory stories. Metal polish mixes with homemade cookies. Children's laughter fills space, once echoing with tools and frustrated attorney calls. Sometimes justice tastes like Elena's blueberry muffins and sounds like helicopter rotors.